Hey, Husker fans, Evan Bland here with Tom Shatel, the Omaha World-Herald, and this is the Tom Shatel Press Box. It looks like we're in the Big Red nightclub. It's actually not the case. This is the Hawks Center with the lights off on a Monday. Don't let that confuse you, though. Nebraska continues to work. Off of the bye week, Indiana's up next. And I thought, Tom, in our weekly sort of Monday session with Matt Rhule, really complimentary about Indiana. Notes that the Hoosiers are one of two teams that haven't yet trailed this year, statistically in the top 10 in a whole bunch of offensive and defensive categories. Are you buying that this is sort of a top 10 matchup that Nebraska's got in store this weekend?
I'm buying that Indiana's undefeated, and they played real well, and they've got good coaching. But who have they beaten? I don't know who anybody's beaten on either side of the sidelines this week. We're going to find out. That's kind of the best part about this. The matchup is Indiana's going to find out how good they are, and so is Nebraska.
Yeah, and Matt Rhule, for a second straight week, really talked about the run game and wanting to get something going on the ground in terms of explosive plays. He said he did a deep dive in the off week about kind of removing sweep plays for the positive and sack plays for the negative, and just saying, man, Nebraska needs to find a way to turn some of those 5 to 7 yard gains into 20 or 30. Is that realistic in your view, or is that just kind of what Nebraska is in terms of its personnel?
I don't see a lot of explosive backs. Now, Ramir Johnson has got some jets, but I think that's why Ja'Cory Barney is getting running plays. They want a guy with his speed to hit it hole and go. Other guys, are not what you'd call guys who can hit a hole and go 60 yards. I don't think so. But regardless of that, they just need to get the running game to where they're able to. I thought the Rutgers game was a lot better for that, but I keep the other offense on the off the field, and the second half of this season is not UTEP, it's not Purdue, it's a lot tougher. How tough? I don't know. How tough is Wisconsin? I don't know. Don't overreact to what you see Saturday. Every game's different. Do I think USC can be beat? I don't know. You can't overreact to everything we see. Nebraska's going to have to show up and play well. But they'll need to run the ball better, and they'll need to make a field goal. I still think this is a 7-5 season. To get to 8, they're going to have to kick field goals. And right now, they can't do that.
Well, and Matt Rhule made the point. He did what a lot of fans did, what I did in the off week, was just watching a lot of college football, and we saw a lot of close games. As he noted, a lot of games that came down to the final possession, NFL style, where things maybe just come down to a clock management piece here, or a play call there, or whatever it might be. You kind of get the sense that Nebraska realizes the task in front of it, Tom. It's not going to maybe be pulling away from teams in the first half the way it did early in the season. It's going to come down to little things like you mentioned, special teams, penalties, just little things that might add up to a win or a loss.
I thought the best thing he said today, or one of the best things, was that the new normal in college football is a good year is going to be 8-4 or 9-3. He's right. If Georgia loses to Texas this week, that's 2 losses for Georgia. They're not used to that. Oklahoma people are used to winning 10 or 11 games a year. That ain't going to happen. Not every year, not this year. It's just, that doesn't mean you can't get there once in a while, but every year is going to be hard. He's right. And so everybody's going to be adjusting that, but it puts more of a premium on special teams and being clean. And, we haven't really had an explanation on special teams as to why things have been so off. It's just that, there are obviously good plays, but there's a lot more what do you call catastrophic plays on special teams today. So hopefully they'll get that cleaned up. I don't think that this season will do much better than maybe 6. I think they'll get to 6 wins by beating UCLA, but 7 or more, probably going to have to kick field goals.
Incidentally, a couple injury pieces from Matt Rhule too. Tommy Hill trending toward being back. That looks pretty good. Tristan Alvano, to your point, Tom, about kicking field goals day to day. We'll see if he's ready to go as well. We'll be ready to go. It should be a fun weekend out in Bloomington. Nebraska playing a top 25 team. They could end a couple streaks, incidentally, Tom. They could end the top 25 losing streak, which is at 25, and they could end the bowl drought at 8 years. So we'll see how that goes. For Tom, I'm Evan. Thanks for watching, Husker fans. This is the Tom Shatel Press Box with the Omaha World-Herald.